Alright, what's good everybody? Welcome back to the channel. About to run through a little play breakdown for you guys, man. Hopefully it's going to be a quick video, but if it's not, it's because I went into detail about a few things, right? So, we're going to get into some 2x2 spread. This is the spread playbook, spread offense. And we have access to 3 2x2 spread formations. And this is mainly the reason why I use this playbook is because I have access to all of these plays here. So, the way I set up my audibles, I have plays in there that attacks everything. But mainly out of this spread halfback week, we have this 4 verticals played. If you look on the right, you can see that we're averaging 21.5 yards per play on this. And it's mainly because we use this formation and this alignment to attack everything, right? We can attack cover 2, we can attack cover 6, we can attack cover 3, cover 1, all of the above with one simple adjustment that's done as soon as you break the huddle, right? So we're going to call 4 verts right here. We're going to run it against cover 1 first. So this is the play art right here by default, and once we come to the line, we're just going to put square on a comeback. We want to put the comeback into the boundary because that's, you know, the quickest throw that we can get to if that's our last read in our progressions, which it is the 4th read in our progression. So the way you read 4 verts is you're reading from outside to in, or essentially right to left, right? Depending on, you know, who your guy is out here at your flanker position, which is circle all the way on the right. If that's a 99 speed guy, that's Tyreek Hill, and you trust him to beat a 89 speed, 90 speed corner over the top, feel free to throw that, man. Feel free to freeform that past the guy. Just make sure you have enough field to make the throw, right? Typically you want to try that from about the 35-40 yard line, and if he's going to outrun him on a lob fade, then feel free, right? But if you don't have that and you want to run something like this because you know your guy is not gonna win outside, you're more than welcome to run something like this, versus cover 3. This is a great play, but for the sake of this video, we're gonna just keep him right on that fade, right? So we're gonna read this 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, circle, X, triangle, square. And as long as our offensive line holds up, we should be able to hit these throws pretty easily, right? So snap the ball here, boom. Nobody's open on cover 1 except that comeback route, and that comeback route is about 15 yards, I believe. So if we take a look at the replay here, we snap the ball, and these are all quick reads, but it's more based on your pre-snap, and then you're really looking at like what do we have pre-snap. Kind of tells you what we have post snap, right? It's half the read. So take the snap of the ball here. We're looking at number 1. We can see that the outside receiver. If you know your guy isn't gonna win, you can kind of X him out of the read, right? So essentially, what we're doing is we're reading this first seam 87 to the second seam, which is 17, and then we're going to the comeback. And if the comeback's not there, if you see that a corner sinking under it, or a zone buzzing underneath of that comeback route, you a lot of times will have your halfback, right? So the halfback is going to run an option route right here. He's actually going to run up, attack the linebacker, and then break outside. But what we do have is this handy dandy comeback route, and this is a timing route. You got to get the timing down. But there it is. The sticks are at the 40. No, sticks are at the 40. He breaks out of his route, catches it right here at the about 17 yard line. And when he goes out of bounds, I think it's about the 14 yard gain, right? 13 to 14 yard gain. That's perfectly fine, right? So we'll run it again. Just really simple reads right here. We're just going to read up the seams. Are they open? Throw it. If not, we're going to wait for the comeback. Throw it with anticipation. Bang. Easy money. 15 plus yards, right? So it's really no need to run it again against cover 1. Against cover 1, that's what the comeback is for, right? That's your bailout versus cover 1. But you can also wait to hit this running back here and get demolished by the D-line. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into cover 3s. So you have different types of cover 3s. You have cover 3 sky, which is like your slot receivers are going to get redirected, stuff like that. You also have cover 3 hard flat. Buck slant 3 is like a cover 3 match kind of deal here. It's actually turn on. Yeah, match is already on for the defense. Cool. You got cover 3 cloud. You got cover 6, cover 3 seam, cover 2 inver. All these other coverages, right? That we can attack. With 4 verts, right? So we'll call cover 3 hard flat. Excuse me. We'll run the same exact route combo here. So I don't like when they do that. Put them on a smoke screen. That's kind of wild. But there you go. There's the route combo. Same as last time. We're reading 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. So circle, X, triangle, square. Does circle have the matchup? If he doesn't, we're essentially using him as a runoff. We're not even worried about him over there, right? So free release up the seam. That's the field side seam. So that field side seam should be more open than the boundary side seam, just based off of leverage and space, right? Especially when you have a free safety. If that free safety, you can see he's kind of, in between the hashes, so he's leaning more towards the field side here, which he should be. But like you have another throw up the left seam as well. So essentially, what you're reading when you get two free releases up the seam, you're reading that safety. What does that safety do? Is he leaning left or right, or is he staying in the middle? Either way, both seams are wide ass open, right? You can say the quicker throw is to the boundary side seam, but personally, I like to throw to the field because that's the first read in the progression, right? If I'm reading right to left and I see that seam is wide open, I'm gonna rip that seam every time. 87 gets free up the seam. You take that throw, and you want to throw it away from the safety and over the backer. That's exactly what we did right here. It does get lit up, but it is what it is. He held onto that ball, right? So we'll run it again. Square on a comeback. Run it up the seam. Easy completion. And just for shits and giggles, we'll run it a couple more times here. We run it and actually hit every receiver here. So we're going up the left seam here. That's a terrible throw. It's inaccurate, just random inaccurate. It's funny. But we're running up the left seam here again. So just pass the linebacker depth, down and inside, get it in there. And last but not least, we'll run that comeback route. Again, reading right seam to left seam to comeback. And essentially, like when you're playing against another user, all you really have to worry about is once you snap the ball here, you see that free release, you have to verify if that user is there to make the play. Because a user linebacker or user safety at linebacker can make the play and get that interception if they're reading it and jumping it properly. And if they do, that means the other one should be there. And if it's not, you're throwing this comeback. And that's an easy 20-yard completion. All right. So that's cover 3 hard flat. Again, we ripped the first seam because that's our first read to the field, wide open throw. We've hit the left seam right up the middle here, down and inside pass lead once he passes that linebacker depth. And if you can see here, number 32, the running back is going to come up here and attack that guy in that zone. So that you're high-low in this linebacker here, number 33, in the middle of the screen there. You're high-low in him with a seam and a halfback. So really easy reads, right? And then, because they're playing hard flat, they're playing somebody shallow underneath on the sidelines, and the outside corner is being run off by that fade. By the seam. You get another wide open throw to the sideline here. So easy money versus cover 3 hard flat, right? The last thing we're going to run versus cover 3 here is cover 3 sky. Typically, this is the most common coverage you'll get when playing online. Cover 3 sky is a very common play when people want to keep the lid on, so to speak. But it's the same exact reads here, man. And what we're reading here is at the snap of the ball, we're taking circle out of the play. We don't even worry about him at all. He's just on that fade to run off coverage for us to hit these seams versus cover 3, right? So we take a look here, drop back, still wide open, right up the seam. The only difference is you have to wait for that redirect and wait for your guy to get over top of that I guess curl to flat defender, the purple defender here. So usually they try to redirect them up the seam to the safety, so they have kind of like a bracket coverage. But because these guys are just dropping into a zone, to an area, they're not really covering a man. They're covering grass, and we're going to throw to the open grass, which is to the field side, right up the seam, away from the safety, and the corner is being run off by the outside fade. And it's, as you can see right here, you got 4 defenders within 5 yards, but that's an easy completion, right? That's what you call ripping the seam. Now, typically on 4 verts, and I see that redirect, and I see that the user's not there to take away this pass, I'm going to throw that 99% of the time. But in the rare event that they do actually take that away to the tight end side, we can look to the other seam here. We don't get bull rush to hell, and that's a pick because our timing was off. But if we don't get absolutely screamed at from the base 4-man rush here, we should be able to hit this other seam right up the middle there. Bang. That's easy money. That's just throwing it into the hole between the zones, right? And it's also based on your O-line. Can your O-line hold up? Typically in practice mode, you'll get much better pass rush than you do in game. If somebody's only rushing 4, you typically have all day in game, right? So there you go. Feet are set. Outside pass lead. Easy money right away from the safety. The outside corner is occupied by the outside receiver running his route, his vertical stem, and come back. So boom, there we go. It's easy money. We'll run it one more time. This time we're gonna hit the comeback route. So essentially, if everything is muddied up, you don't like it, we can always come back to that. A little bit of a tighter throw versus cover 3 sky because you have that curl flat defender that is playing curl to flat on that side. But as you can see, once that guy gets redirected there, boom, he's pushing him up the field. He's now looking for work, but there's nobody in his area, right? And we're looking at this guy right here. We're looking at him right here. He redirects that guy. He is looking for work. There's nothing there. He just dropped into a spot, curl to flat, and he's going to widen out here. But by the time we throw this ball, it's coming to the sideline. He can't make that play. Ball's already there. With a couple yards of separation by the time he gets this completion down, but you just got to get the timing down. And like I said, just run the play a couple times, bro. Run it 5 times versus cover 1. Run it 5 times versus cover 3 hard flat, cover 3 hard flat, cloud flat, sky, buzz, whatever. It all works the same, right? Now we'll choose a new play here, and I'll show y'all like the my favorite part of it, which is calling for verts, and you get like a cover 2 alignment like this, right? So you get this cover 2 alignment here. You got 4 verts, and it's attacking cover 2, right? So you have the 2 hole shots down the sideline. If it's stop cover 2, country cover 2, Tampa 2, whatever you want to call it, you'll have these hole shots down the sidelines, and it's the easiest completion. And that's a superstar dev safety right there, 96 speed safety that can't make that play. You know what I mean? And it's really simple on how it works, why it works. That outside corner, he's just playing a cloud flat. He's going to redirect and look for work underneath. Once you see him chuck that receiver outside and he's not running with him, you know you have the shot down the sideline, right? You know it. I know it. You can see that the deep half safety right there is being held inside by that seam route. He's running vertically up the numbers. And we're going to pass lead this outside and let our guy Rat catch it, possibly for a touchdown, right? If your quarterback's got high velocity, 95, 96, 97 throw power, he can get this in there a little bit better than Kirk Cousins. Get it in there faster, whether you have gunslinger, pass lead, elite, anything like that. You can get that in there for a big hole shot, and it's likely a touchdown, right? And we can also run this to the wide side as well. So to the field, we read the same thing, snap the ball, see the redirect, put this ball on the sideline, get a big completion down there, right? So, and that's also against somebody who's in the running for Defensive Player of the Year in the league. That's Harrison Smith out there. But why can Harrison Smith not get to it? Because he's being stressed vertically by that inside seam. That inside seam is keeping him inside. Because if he doesn't cap that inside seam to help that linebacker, that tight end runs free for a touchdown, right? So we had the whole shot out there to the sideline. All right. Now with a better throw, better velocity, we can fit this in there a lot better than this. But you can see the window is wide ass open down that sideline. Boop. Easy money. So I'll give you another look here. We'll run 4 verts versus cover 6. This is probably this is the time where I usually run this play the most, because cover 6 is such a dead giveaway. It's a dead sell. So look at the left side of the screen here. You got cover 6 on the field. So typically cover 6 is always going to align to the cover 4 side to the 2 receiver side. And the side where the tight end is typically going to be the cover 2 side of the field. How you can tell is you're looking at the leverage from this corner over here. You can see this corner with the M over top of his head. He is 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, right? That is a dead giveaway for cover 2. You know, 2 deep safety shell. Cornerback's 5 yards off the ball. That's a cover 2 tell, right? If we look over here, the 2 deep safeties, but this corner is about 8 yards off. What does that tell you? That tells you that he's not in a cloud flat. He's not in a cover 2 alignment. You know, so if you're running somebody who's not running you know, disguises with their shows, with their tells, then you can almost guarantee, like, hey, this is cover 2, or I mean cover 6. I can't get this thing to. All right, so we'll just run the mic wherever, doesn't matter. But we're just gonna run 4 verts, right? And when I see this look though, I do put my guy on a comeback, right? Now, what I will say as well, I do have match coverage on right now. So in match coverage, that cloud flat corner on the right, if he is in a soft squat, he will match this vertical route and he will run with him. And this 4 verts is no longer open on this sideline, right? Because if that corner chucks and runs with this fade, then he is matching, and that whole shot is not there, right? So then you have to continue to read the play. Circle to X to triangle to square, right? Because square is going to be your comeback route, and that's likely going to be your guy open. So if we snap the ball here, he runs with the fade. You got to come back to the sideline. And once I see him run with that fade, there's nothing else for me to see. I know I have to get to the comeback, and I know I have to hit that with timing and anticipation. So snap of the ball here, like I said, if this outside cornerback who's 5 yards off the ball, if he is in a soft squat and they are in match coverage, they have that match coverage turned on, he is going to squat and he's going to run with that vertical. He's going to match him vertically down the field, and that's exactly what he does. Right? He has that safety over the top. You got the linebacker here who's going to vert hook. He's going to match vertically on number 2, and they're going to take this away, right? So now that has turned from cover 6 zone to cover 2 man, running 2 vertical routes with a safety over the top is no bueno. We don't want to run that. So we're looking away. We're reading 1 to 2. We're going to come over here. We're going to read 3. But, you know, like I said, you can skip some routes when you're throwing with anticipation. You understand coverages, right? Because we know that this guy's going to get bracketed by the safety, right? So 1, not open. 2, not open. 3, not open. Where's 4? Wide ass open. On a comeback route. Easy money. Take it every time, right? So I'm actually going to select a new play. I'm going to run it with match off so you can see the difference. Call 4 verts right here. Get to cover 6. And we're going to turn match coverage off. We want default zone drops, right? So they're just going to play spot drop zone on this particular play, this rep. So we're going to run our alerts the same way here. Reading the right side of the field, circle to X to triangle to square. Get that zone chuck. Outside pass lead, bang. Now you got a collision there, but you know, we threw it a little bit early. But we can take a look at the replay and see how and why it was open. So we just ran this exact same play. One play prior, it was match, and this time it's not match coverage. He's gonna spot drop, and he's just gonna look. He's gonna watch it run right past him here. Now, what I don't like is that 11 does not release outside of this corner, because that's where you need him to be. You need him to release vertical, but outside of this corner. If he gets outside of this corner, you have more room to make this throw a completion and a catch and run versus that safety. But because he's running the red line here, and if you don't know what the red line is, that's a football practice thing. But if he's running the red line here, he's basically playing into the hands of that safety. But we are able to still get him in there because we let it outside. We know the throw, we know the timing. We get this completion right here. But he's able to make a play and possibly knock that ball out. But let's run it one more time with the same coverage. Reading circle to X to triangle to square. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can count to 3, you can play for me. Snap the ball, step up, get our comeback, or throw out a sack. But there you go. Run it one more time just so we can get that completion right there. Read it here. And again, the pass rush in practice mode is just tenacious today.
Hey, no, easy.
Let's go ahead and slide away from the nose. See if we can get a little bit better protection here. And there you go. That's hilarious. We're going to end it on that, man. We're going to end it on that. But that is 4 verts with a simple adjustment of adding a comeback to the boundary versus cover 1, cover 3 sky, cover 3 hard flat, and cover 6 with and without match. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, be sure to dislike it, leave some hateful comments, and unsubscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm out.